what was the kind of aspirations for after college? I mean, were you still thinking hockey?
My goal was to be an Olympian. And that's something that I kind of had set my mind towards when I was 12 years old. When I saw this Olympic team play in Cleveland and I got all
Yeah.
the girls' autographs and, role models, and you're just starstruck, like, oh, I want to do that. Cool. I was just like, oh, yeah, it's Sochi Olympics in 2014, and I graduate in 2013. They're going to centralize between those two, between that year. And that's it. I'm just going to be an Olympian. And so when I graduated, I tried out for the Olympic team. And in the 4 years of going to BC, I was going in and out of these national team programs and trying out for the senior women's team. And I was always getting cut for some reason.
Hmm.
And I was like, how the heck am I getting cut when I am like top defensive scoring in the entire country? And I'm an All American and I'm doing all these great things. And I just couldn't figure it out. Come to find out later, the coach just really didn't like me. She was the coach of Harvard. And
Huh.
I don't think she was very happy that I didn't commit to Harvard when I decided I wanted to go to BC. There was this weird rivalry that we had. And then one of the meetings that take place when they're deciding the team, someone had eventually told me that the coach said I was uncoachable. And that was just like a serious stain to my reputation as an athlete who wants to
Yeah.
pursue her dream to becoming an Olympian. And that broke me for a very long time. And so she would bring me to these camps. I would be like the last, like seventh defenseman, and then I'd get cut. And I'm just like, oh, like
Hmm.
it really got under my skin. And so the last year I got cut and I didn't go to Sochi. I went home, I graduated, I cried my eyes out. I decided I'm not going to play hockey anymore. Like I'm done. I disappointed myself. I disappointed my family. I didn't make my dream come true. I told my mom I was going to do all this stuff.
So objectively, from your mind and everybody else could see, like you were certainly one of the best players, and then you shouldn't be cut. After you're just like looking at the data, and you're like,
I'm
how's
like,
this does
analytics doesn't make sense.
right? Was that the first time that your performance and how good you were had nothing to do with it? Was that like kind of a
Yeah.
shocker for you, where it's
Oh
like
yeah, it gutted me. I couldn't figure it out. And as
yeah,
maybe listeners are like, oh, well, she was good at everything. Like there's going to be an obstacle and adversity going to hit
well,
you in the
yeah,
face and
you can
punch you in the
never
mouth.
anticipate all
Right.
that.
And
Yeah,
so it hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have poured every ounce of all that I had
yeah,
into this game, and my dream is just yay big. And I wanted to be, I didn't see anyone on the Olympic team of color. So I was like, I'm going to be the first Black woman on this US
yeah.
Olympic team, and it's going to be great. I'm going to make my family proud. And it didn't happen. And I was just like, what is going on? like,
Yeah.
it was devastating. I think I spiraled into a depression probably for a couple of years
Hmm.
after, where I was just trying to find myself, find my purpose and my reason
Yeah.
for why I was playing the game anymore.
Life is full of failures and successes. Would you say
Yeah.
that's a one, or do you have something else that how would you describe it?
Well, no, that's definitely the biggest one that kind of just turned me upside down. And then just the journey of playing what some would call professional hockey, but not really,
Yeah.
and just trying to survive and play the game that you love, and you're figuring out why the heck you're doing something anyway, and you just have no idea what direction your life is going in.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
now I think of myself 10 years ago now to me being like top three NHL most influential women in sports and a broadcaster and all these great things that are coming. There's like a 10-year period where I was just like in the mud, figuring it out and not knowing who I was, and just trying to follow breadcrumbs.